Okay, so here we are looking at not Gully Wash, Process. That's the one. Pretty much plays the same as Gully Wash, but whatever. Yeah. So first up, you should be running Gru pretty much constantly. There's very little reason to run other stuff here. Like, even if you're defending last and Fists of Steel might be useful, then once you've defended last, then you have to push out and you're going to be really fucking slow. Basically, you run Gru because you're going to want to kind of keep quite close to your demo and medic wherever they're going, and yeah, you need the speed to do that on a big map like this. As a general thing about how to play out 5 CP maps, this is just in general, for my money, the way that you want to play it is the demo man should be calling if he can, and he should be leading the combo, just because he's much more adaptable and all that jazz, and you should be backing him up. Although, I mean, this is another one of those things where, depending on what level of Highlander you're playing at, like in the lowers, heavies can lead and do very well, but as you get higher you want to rely a bit more on your demo, and you're kind of like, once again, the kind of launching board for him to do stuff. So, rollouts, you get on your Gru, you run up this way. I mean, this is really obvious, it's just basically straight to the choke. Other options, you can go through PC, which is this place off to your left, or you can go through sewers, which is this place off to your right, but I'm not fond of them. Going through sewers, you're bringing yourself out into a choke point for no actual serious speed advantage, and you can get trapped in there. Again, the problem with PC is if the demo's fast and comes this way, then once you get a load of stickies raining down here, then you're trapped in PC. There is absolutely nothing you can do once there's loads of stickies outside the door, because if you run out there, you're just going to die, so you end up running all the way back round, which is why I'm not fond of coming out into PC. What you want to do when you hit mid is you want to do the whole, you're on Gru, you want to change to your minigun, then you want to get your sandwich out, and you probably want to plant a sandwich behind this rock. The reason that you're going onto the minigun before you go onto your sandwich to throw it is because you don't want to throw your sandwich and go back onto Gru, because then that will reset the timer on you taking damage off those Gru, and taking mini crits is bullshit, don't do it. I mean, you can hold on to your sandwich, but okay, so here's my thought process on throwing down the sandwich there. So once you're in here, you want to back up your demo with whichever way he's gone, because if you're focusing fire with him, much more effective. So if your demo's gone left and he's fighting on his crates, you want to run the fuck over here and start kind of fighting over this area, depending on where they are. If they're really close, maybe you don't want to be this close. Yeah, the other thing, so yeah, in fact, when you hit mid, the two things you want to pay attention to are where your demo's going and where their sniper is, because this is another one of those places where you just don't fight if the sniper can see you. So yeah, what I found myself doing lots of times, if your demo goes really deep over here, it feels like you're overextending coming this far, but it's actually not so bad. If you've got your demo helping splash this area and you're hosing over here, you can control this fairly effectively. You need to watch out for people coming up top, and you need to be aware of, say, the sniper coming through PC or whatever. But yeah, that kind of works. The other option is pushing this side, whereupon if you've thrown your sandwich down there, you just grab this thing and you've got a sandwich back. Once you're on this side, fighting over here can be okay. Like, fighting over this is golden. This is wonderful cover. The only thing you have to watch out for before fighting here is, again, check if their sniper is at choke. If their sniper is at choke, don't be here. You can't do it. If their sniper is at choke, don't fight there. Just come around to mid, and you know, you can push from mid to here. This is kind of acceptable. You're still doing some work in area control. Yeah, what I would say is on both of these, if you're going far right and getting really close like here, or pushing in or whatever, likewise on the other side, it's all very much a case of if your demo's still up and if your team are controlling this. If your team aren't controlling this, you want to be pulling back and you want to be getting with your medic. Because, okay, so if people come up into your close range on this midpoint, then you can do a lot of damage as heavy. If people are being like really savvy about what they're doing, then they won't get that close. And you're kind of, again, just like backing up the kind of longer range classes. You don't want to be like here on the point unless you kind of control the thing, because There's nowhere really for you to run effectively. You're not near any health packs. And yeah, this midpoint is actually a tunnel for heavy if you think about it. So one end of the tunnel starts here, and one end of the tunnel starts here. And inside that tunnel, there are no options for you whatsoever. Like, you can just run, there's like corners to hide in, but yeah, not so great. So yeah, be very wary if you commit full on to point like this, because I mean, even the health pack is up there, which is a bit of a pain. Like, fighting up here, in terms of like your options are heavy, you've just got so many more options like being up top here. So yeah, being on point is kind of a bit bad. For cool stuff you can do on mid, there is a jump. I've yet to actually have the time to use this in an effective manner. Oh, fuck that up. No, I can't remember where this is from. It's from here somewhere. There we go. You can go here, and yeah, you can get onto roof, which would be cool if it wasn't such a pain in the ass doing. The reason I've not used this is because, well, if there's a sniper anywhere, then you're vulnerable as hell. And even if you're up here, unless they're like really close, your options aren't that great. But who knows? Maybe it'll be useful one day. I'd like it to be so. We shall see. What else about the mid fight? Look out for the sniper. This is another mid fight where getting your timings on when the spy is going to attack you are really good to have down, because it's very much a case of once you've been in your position for X amount of time, you need to be wary of getting stabbed, because that tends to happen. Okay, so if you lose the mid fight, hopefully you shouldn't be dying if you can pull back. If you're alive and say your med's alive, and they are, then let's talk about pulling back through the red choke. If stuff's going to shit, get out, because with just a heavy and a med, with the cap time, you can kind of hold this in an effective manner to the extent that you can like stop a roll. Like, if you go down and the rest of your team is down, or however many people are, then chances are they're going to get second. If you manage to stay up, you can create actually quite a lot of bullshit to stop stuff happening. Should we talk about attacking or defending first through these points? Let's talk about defending first, because it gives you some ideas where to go. I've seen some people defending with their combo over here. I really don't like it. I think you don't have many options. Like, if you're keeping heavy and medic here, okay, you've got, you know, this bit of cover, which is alright, and you can shoot into like top PC and bottom PC, and you can also hold sewers. What I don't like about here is if you're getting splashed, there's not really a very good like route of retreat. You know, if you start getting jumped, your medic has to run an awful long distance on ground which isn't yours. And you know, if you decide that this area is getting a bit hot, even retreating is kind of a dodgy prospect, because whichever way you retreat, you're going to be going through sight lines from somewhere. And yeah, I'm not that convinced by staying on point. What I like to do defending this point is kind of hold around this area. Just because you kind of got a lot more to do. So firstly, heavy defending this area. This is bread and butter, man. Defending this area is beautiful. You've got high ground, there's a big health pack down there. They've got 1 choke, 2 choke, 3 chokes to get through to get you. Maybe even 4 if you count the one back there. So as long as someone's keeping an eye on this area and people don't rush it, you should be totally fine. And also, to be fair, heavy kind of keeping a general eye on this is good as well. What I would say is when you're holding this area in general, watch out for decloaks around here. That tends to happen. Also worth noting that you can run along this pipe. I don't know how useful that is, but it's a thing. So, you know, bear it in mind. The other thing that is good for being up here is defending choke is actually pretty good. They're going to have to Uber really early to get into this choke, if that's where they're going to Uber. If they come from choke or sewers, you're going to have to Uber early. And you can just pull around here and just milk this for all it's worth. If the enemy combo is pushing in there and you're kind of on your own and there's not many people up, you can come to this corner I was just telling you about where spies decloak, and you can chill the fuck out. You can let their combo come up here and hang around in the Uber to fade, and then you can just walk out here and hose them. And yeah, that seems fairly effective. Yeah, what else to talk about defending here? Yeah, snipers shouldn't be too much of an issue unless they're peeking through doors or there. When you're working this place, be aware of snipers being down there because you can get shot. If you are going to peek here, I would suggest that you peek this side. because peeking this side's fine, but if someone's coming up the ramp, they're going to be looking at you straight on. So like, say a soldier is coming up that ramp, you want to jump out and peek on this side, because then you can hose him. And the nearest cover he's got is this thing, which is fuck all cover, because there's just not that much to hide behind, really. If there's a soldier trying to, you know, edge you from there, he's got big issues. And yeah, there's a lot you can play with up here, like jumping down's an option, and yeah, it's kind of good. Defending from on the point, it's all pretty obvious here. You've got to be aware of where the pack is and such. Whatever. Okay, so let's talk about attacking this point as well. Should we talk about falling back? No, let's talk about attacking this point. Okay, so if we were to come out and attack, so coming through choke, if you've got your team and you're popping an Uber, is really good. You can get in. Again, what I'd advise you to do is come up and take this area. Essentially, this just area is a lot more amenable to a heavy. Having a roof is lovely. It kind of keeps your med safe from bombs. And yeah, if you're attacking here, again, like I said, you know, case this area out, check that it's clear. If it's clear, you can start pushing up this way. You need to watch out for people in two, but if you've got people with you, you can kind of come this way. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to take the point, essentially. Like, if you're coming forwards and denying this crap, then that's actually pretty good for letting other people cap the point. If you're capping the point, that's fine. The point's actually quite nice for a heavy here, because it doesn't take that long to get up from the two ways that you can be attacking it. And you've got options. You can drop down, you can use it as cover. It's, you know, usual stuff. What I would say is that if a sniper comes out here, if you're on your own, then don't risk this, you know. Like, I mean, you can duck at the back here to kind of prevent you getting shot from that door a little bit, but yeah, this is not something for heavy to solo cap. Normally, like, I mean, you're better up like backing up other people capping, because everyone's going to be like at mid to long range here, and your damage isn't going to be great. Although, you know, you can stop bombers. Now, another thing you want to think about while attacking this point is going through PC. Which is actually pretty good. It all depends on whether you've got scene and, you know, of course, Uber advantage and disadvantage. If you're going in dry, then this can be effective. I wouldn't do it with just you and medic. Okay, if you get scene here and there's a demo up there, fuck it, head to choke, this isn't happening. If you get to here and you haven't been clocked, I mean, you want to spin up for coming up here just in case there's a heavy up there. But if you get to here and you haven't been clocked, then this is amazing. Because once you're in here, and you've got a medic, then there might be some people on point there, you know, you're in a good position to fight them. There might be people coming from over there, you're not too worried. Unless they send people under, then there's not going to be stuff coming behind you, and it's pretty nice. But I should stress, if they clock you too early, and they see you're coming up here, then this is going to be a big problem. One thing you should be aware of is, say, okay, so this isn't something I'd advise, but it's worth being aware of. If you come in here and you come under here and you run along here, then generally no one will see you, and you can kind of get all the way to back here without people seeing you, which is interesting. It's dodgy as fuck, but I mean, if you look where you're running here, you're not in the sight lines of where people are looking. Anyone up on this platform, they can't see you. Anyone on the point, unless they're actively looking down at this doorway, then they're probably not going to see you. People holding behind the point, they're not going to see you. So yeah, like, this is, you know, if you want to do some ninja heavy work, this is a really nice way to do it. It's bigger for scouts, because scouts can just get into last and be assholes, which is another reason to look out for scouts and such. What else about capping here? This doesn't work, sadly. It'd be amazing if it did. Shooting through here doesn't work. It's blocked. Can you shoot through the bottom, in fact? Oh yeah, you can. Maybe that'd be plausible. I guess it's, you know, some defense. Who knows? If you go heavy versus heavy here, try it. Okay, so we've done. Oh, we should talk about sewers as well. I tend not to spend much time in sewers. Be aware that you can jump up from here. Very useful. You can even do that without GRU. Just gives you a bit of extra mobility. So this is actually surprisingly not.
He's the one that can't strafe.
Sorry, say again.
Of course, I'm the one that can't strafe. I'm so bad at strafing.
How are you doing your air strafes?
I guess not, considering.
Yeah, so the thing about air strafing, in fact we could do a bit on air strafing here, is to, so what you're meant to do is let go of your forward key, and once you've jumped, just kind of like slowly move your mouse in the direction that you want to be going while turning in that direction. Oops, screwed that one up. Yeah. It's worth practicing. It's a good jump to have. And it's not that difficult. It's kind of like, there's some jumps which are a little unreliable. This one, if you get it down, should be super reliable. And, oh yeah, what you'll find is sometimes when you're pushing into this point, there'll be a hold in sewers. If you can get to here without being clocked by the team, and you come in on defenders and sewers, and they're all looking towards that little door over there, that can be great. I tend not to play too much in sewers. I haven't had great luck in here. Well, it's okay, but it's just not brilliant for a heavy. I just want to quantify what I don't like about it as such. Okay, coming out of sewers, really bad choke, you can get trapped in here, so it's not that great. Again, coming into sewers, there's this choke. If there's like an NG in here with a minigun, he can bully you a lot. If there's a demo in here, you've just got nothing because there's going to be sticky traps here. Once you're in sewers, it's okay to fight in here. But, I mean, let's look at pushing out of sewers. Like, looking out of this door, what the fuck are you going to do as a heavy? Like, everyone's long range. Like, it's hideous. I mean, you can come out of this side, and if you come out of this side, well, you've got this. So you can kind of avoid the sniper, and I think I can jump up there. Yeah. You can kind of get in here. But, I mean, again, this isn't great a place for a heavy to fight. You know, it's wide open, you can get jumped. There's really long sight lines for snipers. Anyone on the point is just raining death down upon you, and you can't see them that well. Like, this whole side, it's not prime heavy territory. You know, it's not brilliant. So yeah, it's kind of worth thinking about. Like sorry, go on.
When you're gonna attack the point from like a choke,
yeah,
what like always really seems to be the case is that their sniper's going to be somewhere around here or around the point, like completely watching into choke, so you can't really do anything, or you pop really early to not get shot.
Yes. My take on that is you shouldn't be leading that charge. In fact, on this map, if you want to go crits or if you want to go uber, I mean, again, it depends on your opponents, but in general, a demo will just be much more effective because of the ranges and the lines of retreat. Like, I mean, imagine if you get Ubered and you pop in here. Like, unless they're standing really close, what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to be like, they've run away. Balls.
If you're going to, like, Uber for Uber, which mostly will be the case because, in my experience, and there's snipers there, you're kind of forced to go and pop from around here, otherwise you're going to drop a... So,
I mean, okay, being 5 CP, Uber charge is not the only option. I think we generally run like running crits, just because it just gives you much more options. Like, I mean, an Uber shouldn't be able to get that many kills unless you really catch people in a choke. So, like, I mean, if you're going in with crits, well, obviously your demo's first sticky should blow the sniper away if he's any good, and that's kind of that, really. Once you Uber, I mean, again, you're not leading this one. It'll be a case of the Uber goes in, and then once the Uber's doing its thing, you're kind of moving in, mopping up and such. You want to move up here. You might get flashed if they're, like, holding up here and defending as well. But, yeah, again, if the sniper's there, then it's just not your job. Just chill. Hold shit down. Yeah. When you're stacking up towards going through choke, be wary of being on this side, just because... there's not many options here, and if, say, the demo wants to start being aggressive, then you're stuck in this corner looking like a chump, and there's nowhere to run. You're just going out into splash or going out into sight lines. So if you're going to stack up on choke, although you don't have a wall to your back, being over this side is much more effective for you. You can aid in people working sewers, and you can hold back here, and you've got more options to retreat. This rock, you know, once you get behind this rock, I'm running from that demo man at choke and he can't see me, and I've got all this way, and although I'm in a very vulnerable position because he can't see me, there's not death coming on you. So that's something to think about. Or you can run out this way, and you know, you can get pretty far this direction as well. So yeah, being on this side, more options. Although what I really would say if you're going to chill out here is just be very wary of spies, because there's just so many places to uncloak and come and get you. So yeah, that's something to think about. Sorry, what was your question about coming through this choke? Snipers, wasn't it?
where I was with snipers and when you run crits, which we've played with, because we've kind of made a rule of thumb now that on King of the Hill and 5CP maps, or demo is going to be like the main cooler of the team, and on payload maps where he's less experienced with, because yeah, I'm going to try and do some of that.
Yeah, that kind of works. Also stuff like steel and gravel, like a heavy main caller, can be really useful, because the demo will generally be, well, with our new meta, kind of like doing the kind of aggressive hold and can't actually see as much of what's going on. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Demo main calling this is spot on. Choosing crits is viable. I'd say all 3 mediguns are very viable. And to some extent, none of them are really your business. It's down to what the demo is comfortable playing with, because he should be taking the Ubers on this map. I mean, you know, unless like your opponents are getting in really close and, you know, playing a bit kind of loose like that. What I should warn you about is getting up on this pipe. There's a little... Sometimes this jump just doesn't work, and I don't know what it is.
You can just walk in from like the exact corner. You can just walk.
You can,
and have to jump.
But that's kind of like coming around this way. What I find is I'll be coming around here and I'll want to like get up, and there's a little nick here that can catch you sometimes. So just be wary of that. Where is it? Maybe it's only on the other side. I don't even know. This seems really easy now. Maybe I was just crap in the past. Who knows? But yeah, this pipe can be an issue jumping onto. Doesn't seem to now. Rock on. Okay, that probably covers second point. Let's look at last. So, the names of the things are 1, 2 and lobby, because I don't know if you've got a config on, but this has a big 1 up there, this has a big 2 up there, and well, this has a lobby through there, which is why they're called that.
Some people prefer to call 2 rollout because...
Oh yeah, 2 rollout works as well, because that's where you roll out. Makes sense. But yeah, either, just as long as you guys know what's going on. Okay, so pushing last, let's look at the options in general. This one is okay for a heavy, although this is a big old death tunnel again, where there's very few options to do with your slow movement. Also, a lot of other enemy teams have like held their combo here, which I think is, yeah, it's alright. So it's a lot of options, but yeah, I mean, it means that you're going to be coming very close. A demo can just, you know, make short work of you here. I don't think this is really heavy territory. I don't like it that much. So yeah. 2, again, if you're going in with it. I mean, what I would say is if you're going in with your demo and just backing him up, then all of this is viable, because, you know, that's kind of your job. You're kind of like demo buddy. You're like his wingman. He's like going for the girl, being the enemy medic, and you're like, hey bro, I got you. You're like talking to her friends who, you know, I don't know where this analogy is going, doesn't matter. Yeah, coming in here, again, coming in here, just this bit here, you don't want to be here. Look at the sightlines, you're going to be taking all kinds of bullshit. My preferred route of attack is through lobby, because, okay, so coming through here, this is pretty good, you know, heavy territory. You've got to watch out for snipers being far back there or far back there, but assuming there's no snipers and you've got, like, say, your flank coming through here as well, then you can pretty much lock down this area. Pretty convincingly, really. Once you've got this area, then if their combo is holding over there, you can start giving them shit, or you can start getting in towards point, or... I sometimes go long to this end, but again, if once you're at this end, your options are limited. Like, if you're coming out of this midsection, then you can fight this side, you can fight that side, you can get onto point quickly, you can break right. If you come out this side, although it's harder to spot you and you might not get clocked, your options are very limited. They are move back in that direction, kind of go towards this way, but if there's a gun over here, you're going to be doing fuck all, and it's a longer way to point. So essentially this door just doesn't have as many good attacking options as this door. When you're pushing into last, what you'll quite often find yourself doing is getting down here. Check these areas for spies when you jump down, because that's a kind of favoured place for them. There's actually, this point is actually pretty good kind of heavy playground. There's a lot you can do with it, like being on these, you have a little bit of cover. It's not brilliant, but it's something. In fact, can you just walk up these? You can. I didn't know that. That's even better. So yeah, with these you can just adjust your cover. and these railings aren't shoot throughable, so yeah, you can be a real problem if there's people on the other side and shooting around them. Same with this ramp. It actually caps really fast, so again, just getting on the point is another option as well. What I've seen people do, and I've kind of knobbed around with myself, is going up top. Like, okay, so say that we're pushing in from here and your demo's going in with your Uber and he's causing lots of damage. If you come up this way and just hold shit down from up here, this is actually pretty fucking effective, because although you're not aiding to the cap itself, you're doing area control. And assuming your team don't just kind of completely wipe out, like once you've got people on point, if you're say up here, or likewise on the other side up here, then people coming out to try and dislodge them from point, you can do a lot of damage from them. If people come out, you can shoot them. If you want to, you can jump down and get in their faces. But again, as I always say with jumping down, be really fucking sure that you want to jump down before you jump down, because again, it's options, it's movement. You're slow, you don't have that much movement, but a vertical movement is the fastest a heavy will ever travel, and you should appreciate such things because it lets you change the state of combat. Like, that's how you should think about movement. Movement is like changing the state of play and how combat works. This is why like choosing your fighting ground is so important with heavy, because once you're fighting, you can't change where you're fighting. So yeah, like you're kind of, you know, sowing the seeds is kind of what you want to do. Okay, let's talk about defending last. If they've got Uber advantage, wait, have we talked about fighting into last? Yeah, I guess attacking last is fighting into last. Okay, we'll do defending last, then we'll do fighting out of last and how that works. Okay, so defending last. If they have Uber advantage, you want to be quite far back, because all of the places where you could be kind of doing quite aggressive hold, if they Uber in, you're in a bad way. Like the space on this like final point is big. It's a big point, and although the centre thing is actually quite good cover, and these fellas can be quite good cover, there's a lot of distance for you to like run over if you need to run. So I prefer starting up here. And okay, so if you start up here, the distances are pretty crappy. You're going to be, you know, dinging people for sixes and such, but you know, it's not that bad. You can still do that kind of support, and you have options when they come in. You know, maybe someone will try and deal with you, whereupon you just retreat into the panic room. And okay, you don't want to stay in the panic room. If they're like all attacking and swamping everything and you're in the panic room, it doesn't end well. You end up stuck in here and there'll be like splash coming in and you're thinking, oh shit, I really wish I wasn't in here, but you are. But yeah, I mean, again though, if someone's paying attention to you and chasing you up here, they're not doing damage to the rest of your team, but you don't want to stay up here being safe while your team's getting killed. So yeah, be very willing to switch sides and such. When you are playing along this back wall, again, you want to be aware of where their sniper is. If their sniper comes on this side and he's looking at you, then fuck that shit, get to the other side where you can like still do work, cover the point and not be looked at by that asshole sniper. We don't like him. Yeah, so just be aware of stuff. I mean, it should be noted from here, like the sight line to down there, snipers love playing around there, it can be a bit of a thing. Okay, so that's if you don't have Uber and you're hoping they're gonna have to Uber early to get in, and they're gonna peter. Once the Uber's petered, you can obviously do stuff. Okay, so if you do have Uber, yeah, then it's a good question where you want to hold. Here isn't bad, not here, I'm just grabbing some ammo. Like, because if you're here, you can kind of have, you know, people being aggressive up this ramp and like teasing them, turning this area into not a safe place for the attackers. Likewise, you can, you know, if people come in here, that's something. What I have done in the past is if an Uber comes in and I'm kind of chilling in this area, I'm like, oh shit, I'll hide up here. And the Uber kind of can just pass you by, or, you know, just down here and just like hope that they walk past you, which they might do. Yeah, it's worth a thought. I'm not sure. I'm not advocating that tactic. If they turn around and see you, you're fucked. You're just dead. No point at all. But yeah, be aware of it. It's kind of, you know, worth a look. Yeah, so, I mean, if you have Uber on defense and they don't, then you can actually afford to be quite aggressive on this last point. It's not like on Gully Wash where you really, really have to be very careful. Because, I mean, if your NG gets a level 3 up back there, and you can get with your combo into lobby and kind of holding this area, then yeah, I mean, you can kind of dry push out and stuff. I mean, it's one of the things I quite like about Process, is that the last point isn't as gummy as it is on other maps. Like, I mean, Gully Wash, I fucking love Gully Wash, but you do sometimes just end up your team stuck on last defending for ages, and the attackers can't get it and the defenders can't get it. But because the last point here is quite fluid for attackers and defenders, like, it's not a good point to hold. If you stay on last for too long, it will get capped, so you want to be slightly aggressive and not end up just holding here, because it's really not great. You want an aggressive hold. You want to be like pushing forward with your flank. You want to be pushing them back, getting people up here. When you're pushing out, just be very, very aware of snipers. Coming out here is nice. You can catch people out. If they're down there, you can start raining damage in. And this board here is great. It means you can push out here and threaten the places that you'd attack last from, so the people who are trying to get into your last. But the people on point, like the sniper who's holding back or whatever, he can't get you and stuff. So actually, like, as a staging point, this isn't bad. What you do have to watch out for is sticky spam coming in and jumpers and such. So something to think about. Pushing out of last, pushing out of one is fucking horrible. Just look at this. You come out here and look at the distance you have to cover before you get to anything that you can use. This is a kill zone if you're pushing out. You know, if your team's got it.
Sniper sight lines as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well,
like,
depending on where you are, like the sniper can see you from choke when or not he's there. He can see you from sewer if you move too far forward here.
Yeah, exactly. Pushing out of one is just... If your team definitely has this and you feel safe enough to grew out and get on point, then do it. If you've got presence here and there, kind of push back. But otherwise, I don't really like one. Again, if you push out of two, it's kind of the same as pushing out of a lobby, or pushing out of rollout even. Same as pushing out a lobby, but you kind of have to cross ups and stuff. So yeah, if you're pushing out a lobby is just massively preferable, essentially. Again, being up here, like, I don't know why anyone would want to push out down there. Having high ground as heavy is massive, so you want to do that. When you're pushing along here, again, here we have another corridor. Like, you want to be very wary pushing along here. Unless you know you have people in IT or PC, you want to be spun up all the way along here, just because if you're running along here and a heavy is spun up and walks out of there, you're gone. There's nothing for you to jump down, there's nothing to do, you're trapped in a choke, and yeah, you're just going to die. But yeah, if you spin up around here and you can clear out this area, people will be scared, moving back, and you can kind of take this point. Again, capping the point isn't essentially your job. Do it if you need to, but if you've got other classes capping the point, then it's much better for you to hold down this area. Because, okay, let's say we've got heavy scout and soldier up on both sides. If, say, your heavy scout and soldier are capping here, then soldier and scout can harry you from there, actually putting quite a lot of damage. Heavy can be in there. Like, heavy attacking the point from over there is actually pretty effective. But let's say that your scout and soldier are capping and you're actually over here. Well, I mean, this is actually a pretty good place to fight, say, a soldier and a scout. You know, I kind of fancy my chances. Like, if the soldier starts splashing, you just kind of chill back here and the splash will be hitting there and you don't give a damn and your guys are capping. It's great, you know. You can... This is... Like, I can't express how good this area is for heavy play. This is, you know... Well, I mean, it's not the best, but on this map, this is... yeah, this does. Apart from spies, you've got to watch out for them. But again, it's not so bad. And also, like, if you're here... Like, okay, so... If you're on this corner here, just check out what you can see. You can cover choke, and pretty much at the same time, with minimal twitching, you can cover, like, coming up from PC as well. So, you've got a lot you can do here. Like, this is... Yeah. So when you're pushing out, this is your area. What else to think about? Be very aware where all your ammo packs are on this map. Don't forget that little fella down there, might save your life. Apart from that, there's, you know, your usual clusters. Just trying to think if there's anything else particularly clever. Actually, being on this point isn't that bad, because, you know, there might be people below you, and I've got lots of kills doing this kind of crap, you know, with people down there who haven't clocked there's a heavy on top of them. And again, just having, like, the high ground and jumping down and spinning up on people, delicious. Who doesn't like that? Yeah. Just trying to think what else to think about on this map. I think that's about it. There's not much, there's not a whole lot of, like, really good kind of technical heavy stuff to be done here. There's like the little jumps you've seen. I think you can get on these boxes. I've never found a use for it. Let me see if you can. I'm pretty sure you can. Can you do that from the other side? Yeah. I don't know why you'd want to, but yeah. I guess if people were pushing from choke, this would be pretty good cover up here, I guess. But yeah. I mean, like platforms like these are kind of good to abuse as heavy, although again, I can't imagine why you'd be fighting someone there, but you know, these things happen sometimes. Yeah. Can you guys think of anything I might have missed? Or you got any questions about process and such? Are you even still here? Have you fallen asleep?
Yeah, we're still here.
You might have fallen asleep. I just don't know.
We're just taking it all in, listening.
Yeah, just, you know, the whole process vibe. Just trying to think if there's any other, like, poignant stuff to think about. Spies decloaking here. Watch out for this. Spies seem to love decloaking there. Spies love decloaking there. Kind of cheeky areas and such. I'll go behind these rocks. I'm just kind of running through the map at this point and thinking, what could be good? Can you shoot through there? Yeah, you can. I've never used that. I'm not sure if it could be useful. Maybe. Who knows? We covered all the sewers play. Let me see if it is on blue that this one's more difficult to jump up. Don't know. Yeah, this one does appear to be a bit more difficult to jump up on blue. Like, you can get a bit stuck there. Huh. That's kind of weird. Oh well, it's still not difficult. But yeah, just be extra careful on that jump, because if you don't make it... Yeah, look like that! Look at that shit!
Yay!
Yeah. It won't, you know, lose you the game, but it makes you look slightly foolish. And if you're being cast, who wants to look foolish, right? You might as well be all stuck.
I remember one video where indeed they push in and their heavies get stuck on that and he tries to jump 3 times and by that time the Uber's over and he's like, whoa, shit. Yeah,
pretty sad. I didn't know you could just walk up that. That's really cool. I like that. That's totally getting used. You see, even Prem heavies, they need to learn new shit as well. What else? Spidey cloaks around here. I found myself having a sandwich here on many an occasion. What else? Oh, I've never actually found a use for this, but this would be an awesome hiding spot for something. Like, if you're defending last and you know they're going to push through here. Like, in fact, yeah, you just stand in that corner and I'll show people on the thing. Like you oh wait, I can see you now if I'm really paying attention. But even like the sign on the door, like, because there's loads of visual noise there, it kind of masks stuff as well. So, yeah.
Take him to, like, the boiler.
The what one where?
Like in the middle, like you're passing me.
Up there.
Could you see this if you, like, push out? Like if you're trying to run out.
Oh, what are you thinking? Doorways. Like if you were a heavy who was attacking and your team had wiped, and you were thinking,
"Well,
what
fuck, why not? It might."
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a thing. I'm trying to remember where else that particular bit of scenery is, because it's in a different map. It's in. Is it Hydro? You see that fella? Can't remember.
If you're pushing out, you're not really paying attention to it, you might not notice it.
Okay, here's what I'd argue though, right? If you're getting yourself up here while your team's wiping out, then there's a question of why aren't you helping your team and stopping them from wiping out? Because, I mean, if you're this far in, then presumably whatever's wiping out your team is also going to be... I mean, you could. The danger though is, like, okay, say that you're chilling there and their team runs out through rollout. I mean, I guess you could come up behind him. It's one of those tactics I'd say, it's a play, and I'm doing that thing with your fingers where you're kind of doing inverted commas, and it's like a play in that, okay, so if it works, you're going to go huge and you're going to get kills. If it doesn't work, then you're just not backing up your combo, and they're going to be like, oh, so you were standing on that fucking calamity, I think.
I didn't really mean it as like a thing, like, we're going to push in and we're going to stand on that now. It was more, we're pushing in, like, people have already lost them, you're still, like, kind of cool around there.
Do you know what I'd be interested with this, right? Okay, and this is a really stupid idea, but it's kind of intriguing, okay? So, what you do is, you get, say, you've got Uber, you get your heavy and medic, and yeah, hell, why not Demo Man up there as well, and they just chill. Then the rest of your team runs in and wipes out. and then you wait for them to push out, and you attempt to backcap. Yeah, that's a terrible play. Don't do that. Although if you do that and it happens, that's fucking amazing. That's the kind of thing you should try in a show match. You know? When winning or losing doesn't really matter, and you just want to maximise the possibility of doing crazy, awesome shit. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything. Can you just walk up these as well? You can. Bloody hell. I always thought you had to jump for this. Right, okay, so... And this is something that you can do. There is a command to turn on the brushes on the server. Do you know what brushes are? I'll take that silence as a no, Rusky. We do not know what brushes are. Brushes are where map makers can just like apply essentially just blocks to make things not essentially there, or like have extra things there. So I'm trying to think of good examples. Okay, so an example here would be, in fact, I'll show you on a later thing. I'll turn the brushes on for the thing that I'm recording, and I'll show you. But what he'll have done here is there'll actually be a ramp here, so it doesn't stop bullets, but for player movement there'll just be a flat ramp over this thing, and it means that you can just walk up it if you actually get onto it. Huh, interesting. And yeah, people do that to make things, you know, just make maps smoother and let you walk through them and things. And I don't know, like, you know those maps where you get caught on a little step and you're like, why do I get caught on this step? Like, I mean, if this wasn't a ramp, if this was just a straight thing across, like, and you kept getting caught and you actually had to jump for it, it's just a bit pesky. So it just increases like the fluidity of movement. So yeah. What else? Oh, this little spot here. This can be a good spot to, you know, ambush people, perhaps. What I've done on lobbies or TF2 centres in the past is do that trick about going from PC under into lobby, then run up the right hand side, and then this is like while mid's still being fought over, I'll just spawn camp them up here. I wouldn't advise that in a real game, but you know, it's fun in a lobby, I guess. Just trying to think of anything else pertinent. Just wondering if you could jump around and stand on that thing. I'm guessing not. It'd also be pretty useless. Yeah, that is actually all I can think of about this map. Can you guys think of anything else? Okay, let's just call it. Okay, cool.
Come on.